We are now.
Okay. Good.
I wonder how long it's been on.
Well,
okay, I just got the notification just now, so I think
just pull up the other screen. Turn the mute on real quick. All right, hold on, guys. Sorry, it's been a while. I don't remember how to do this. I forget.
Yeah, you guys, it really has. It's been a bit since we've been on here, so please bear with us if we're a little bit rough right now.
Yeah, and we don't even have an agenda either, so that's the best part. Well, I think my computer has a virus. Wonder why? No.
I have half of mine to just.
No.
No, right. It's not wise.
Why is it?
It's been a bit on here.
Okay.
So shut us up. I hear us. Is it me right now?
Turn us up. What are you talking about? We're up. Can everybody hear us? Sorry, guys.
I can hear playback from us talking right now.
That's because you probably have it up too loud.
It's coming from your end because I just paused us. Sorry, you guys.
Do we have an echo?
Right. I hear us lapsed about 5 seconds.
Well, maybe. No, that says it's fine. There are people who are saying it's fine.
Turn us up. What are you talking about? We're up.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
No, maybe it's on your phone.
Oh my God, this is going to flip me out. I can't believe you don't hear that.
No, I hear everything's perfect.
I'm going to try to block it out then the whole time, but I really hear everything that we said about 5 seconds in the past. So,
well, maybe. Okay, they're saying that there's an echo. I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
I think I got hacked.
No, it's not that easy to hack somebody's system, I don't think.
How come I don't hear it?
I don't hear it anymore.
Well, I don't hear it, so
okay.
You don't hear it?
I don't hear it anymore. It's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's okay, guys. Hello, guys. Sorry it's been so long. I had to take a little sabbatical. And I don't know why Jenny hasn't done any shows, but that's me. I just kind of got burnt out from here. So for a multitude of reasons, I'm sure we'll discuss them at some point today. So yeah, Jenny, what's going on with you?
Well, the last time I did a video, I showed up by myself to the Public Safety Commission meeting regarding the Parkland shooting. And I got right up there with the rest of the media. I don't know how I did it. I pretty much just used my charm, I think, and got up with the rest of the media. I had nothing but my phone and I recorded the whole thing. And I didn't expect them to call on me for comments at the very end. But no, like I really didn't.
No, I know. I watched it. If anybody has not seen this, you really should go check it out on Jenny's channel, because I'll have to say this before Jenny even says anything. Okay. The amount of courage that it took for her to go up there and state and said what she said, I was pretty speechless. Like, I could have never done that. Like, you couldn't have paid me. I mean, you probably could have paid me to do it, but like, I would have went there with a mask on. Like, Jenny went up there and just said things that you would not even believe. So,
well, here's the thing. Like, since I really was not expecting them to call on me, what they had was when everybody came in, if they wanted to make a statement, they had to fill out a piece of paper. They had to fill out a form and submit it. Just so that they could look over it. So on the form, I didn't want to lie. I wanted to be very upfront about what I was going to address. Keep in mind, everybody, this is about the Parkland shooting that took place over almost a year ago, where 17 people died, and the alleged shooter, Nicholas Cruz, we all believe at this point he was.
Jenny, real quick, before we don't want to get the channel shut down. That's why my channel got shut down last year, exact timing.
That's right. You know what? She's right.
So
anyways, go ahead and go over to my channel. The actual content that they're discussing is incredibly boring, and it was all about policies and this and that. But at the very end, I did manage to put the words V2K, which is voice to skull technology, and Nicholas Cruz in the same sentence. I wasn't as prepared as I could have been, because I truly did not believe that they were going to call on me because I made no secret about what I wanted to address, but they didn't look over the paperwork, and I was the last person to speak. So it was pure adrenaline. I don't even know what I was thinking. There was like an MSNBC guy next to me with a real camera. And as soon as they called my name, I handed him my phone. I said, "Would you hold this and record this, please?" And he was like, "Okay." So, I mean, listen, I feel like I don't think I could have stood by and not said anything. So for what it's worth, I feel like I did a little bit of my part to get the truth out. So I'm cool with that.
And it's all the way at the end. So, because Jenny records the whole thing, but you definitely should check it out because
it was pretty,
yeah,
it was monotonous. It was so boring. I was going to die. So what's that?
Let's talk about, okay. So if you're new to this channel, I'm Heidi and this is Jenny. I am an astrologer, life coach / that's my side thing. Jenny she's a psychic, tarot reader, mystic. She does all kinds of counseling too as well. So counseling with mystical things. It's been so long, I forget what to say. So yes, I was on sabbatical, and actually I started replying to readings again. I had to get caught up, but I am going to be taking readings again. Still awake, but if you are interested, I am going to get back going. I just had a lot going on the past few months with my real job, so it's been a little chaotic. So, and quite honestly, what's going on in this world right now is just beyond words for me, where I know when I get ramped up, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to say things I probably shouldn't say and piss people off. And, I just had to take a hiatus because some people were just getting on my nerves way, way, way too much.
Well, I think it takes a lot for someone to take a step back and realize that they may not have, the mindset to really, contribute anything of value. So sometimes it's better to just sit back and let everybody else handle it. That's how I felt too. It's like there's so much that has been compounded just in the past few months with current events and the political sphere. It's just a circus right now, but there are so many people that are on top of it that I didn't really feel the need to, jump on here and address everything as they were coming up, because there's so many people that really, they got it. You know what I mean? I just felt like I had to do something pertaining to the Parkland thing, because that's, I went to high school there and This is my backyard. So I just felt like, geez, I have to do something because nobody down here is talking about it. I actually, the day before, because I only managed to make it to the meeting the last day. And the day before me, Laura Loomer was there. And I didn't get to meet her, but my friend did. And that would have been really great. I would have loved to meet Laura Loomer. She's extreme. She's just wild, but she gets it done. And she's shed a lot of light on a lot of the liberal garbage that's been going on, the censorship on Twitter and all that stuff. So shout out to Laura.
Yeah. So it's not that I didn't think I had anything valuable to say. It's just I knew I was going to get my blood boiling and possibly, it wasn't worth it to me. Just like, everybody knows if you've been on this channel, I'm always up for a good old fight. Like when people say to me, "Oh, you don't feed into this and don't feed into that." Quite honestly, I don't mind it. I like feeding into it. And I do not mind if confronting somebody if they're an asshole. So, and I will. And that is part of having Mars and Ketu in my ascendant as a Scorpio rising. So I get some sort of wild thrill out of it. Or maybe it's part of my Neanderthal DNA.
Talk about this. You guys, we have to talk about this.
Yeah. Okay. So besides my psychotic chart, okay, I got my DNA ancestry thing back. I was quite surprised because 100%, I was just shocked. Like I just thought I was Italian and German, right? Well, I am 41% German. That's like a lot for those, because when they pull this, they're pulling everything. I am 100% European. I'm 41% German. I'm 14%. Oh God, what is it? From Spain. Some percent Italian. My Italian side is so little bit Irish or something. a little bit Jewish, like 2% Jewish. But the funniest part to me, the best part, the most enlightening part, this thing, and I did the health part, right? It knew my genes. It knew like that I was athletic. I have some power athlete gene. But no, in addition to all this, I am 76% more Neanderthal than anybody on on 23 and me. Neanderthal right here. And in addition to that, well, if you think about it though, Neanderthals were in Germany. I mean, that's where all that, right? And when I heard that, out of all the whole ancestry, it makes up 4% of my DNA, 76%. I sent it to Cliff. He was cracking up. And out of like my whole family and all the genetics, I'm in first place. It's like, how Neanderthal are you more so than your family? And I'm like, I'm in first place. I'm the head runner.
Neanderthal of them all.
That's right. So it explained a lot though. For seriously, it really did to me. For some reason, when I heard that, everything clicked. Like, I know that sounds really strange, but
no, it doesn't.
It's why I'm so intense. It's why I think I'm always fight or flight status. Like there's no, I'm always ready to attack. Okay. I do believe that. And I think it explained personality wise why I like to be alone, like a caveman. Absolutely. It made a lot of sense.
I really want to do mine. Like I would love to, but at the same time, I'm really apprehensive about it because there's so many conspiracies floating around about what they're doing with that data.
Yeah. I don't even care. I'm over conspiracies. I'm so over them.
Like, what can they really do? I think one of the more sinister possibilities is that they are mapping out everybody's genetics so that they can find who has predispositions to certain kind of triggers or external stimuli so that it's easier to control us. Or perhaps they want to start recruiting people that have a certain kind of genetic trait that they want. You know what I mean? So
the athletic one. I hope maybe I'm going to get recruited to go to Mars. I'm highly convinced.
No, Heidi, you don't want to go to Mars though. Like, I don't know. I want to go down with this ship. Like everybody wants to go to Mars and the moon or freaking Pluto. And I'm just like, I want to stay here with the mother. And
I don't at all. The last thing I want to do is be around anybody here on Earth. Like maybe you, that's about it. But honestly, seriously, but that once again, here we go. I've always felt like I don't belong. I blamed it on K2 being in my first house, blah, 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 and all this, but it's so true. Like everything made sense when I found that out.
That is really funny. I'm sure it was like incredibly interesting though.
It is. It tells you what time you wake up. It tells you, it's like you are likely to hate chewing noises. Oh my God, you don't understand. I can't even listen to people eat. It tells you genes for everything.
How the hell do they figure that out though? That's what freaks me out. It's like, but that's not how do they, I mean, who knows?
Well, in the bed, like, I think it's what?
It just goes to show they have
techniques. We're probably genetically made. Like they probably made us in a lab. Okay. Right. So, but not me. I got interbred. I think I was like one of the apes zipping around. Okay.
Oh, in the chat, Heidi.
Oh, he is. Oh, not my dad.
He says, hi, Heidi. What about me?
Hello. I told my dad how he can chat. That's so funny. Dad, let me tell you something. Well, it is confirmed that you are my real father, just so you know. let me, just in case you were wondering. But it does not allow me to, it says something about, like, it says where my mother is tracked, but it doesn't say where my father's side is tracked. But the only part of Italian that I am is in Reggio Emilia. So definitely that's our ancestors. But in Noel, I shouldn't even be saying all this, my cousin, I have closer cousins. I have 2 cousins in Annapolis. I don't have any family. So like our family is very, very small. And it's just so funny. So yeah, Dad, I'm 76% more Neanderthal than the entire population that's taken the 23andMe.
As opposed to what, like Cro-Magnon man? Like what, there's Neanderthal, then there's Cro-Magnon.
No, well, I guess like, so what happened was Neanderthals were the initial people in Germany, like Europe, okay? Like the originals. And then the people in Africa I guess the Homo sapiens or whatever, okay, migrated. I had to watch a little bit of a documentary on these puppies. Migrated. Well, they say these two guys came and they interbred from where in Africa. So they're not Homo sapiens or whatever they're called. So, that's what it is.
Wow.
And it's funny because the Neanderthal, it's like they give you this whole big long spiel. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the chat, but yeah, it's interesting. It was really interesting. It said so I always knew I was athletic. Well, I was always athletic, fast, could sprint, blamed it on all this other stuff. But Dad, just so you know, you have the gene, the athletic gene, it's a power athlete gene that Olympians have. And my mom had it too. So that gave me 2 CCs where I got it from 2 different, it was like CC this, and it was the sprinter one. And I can sprint. I used to beat the black girls in hurdles in track. I'm not even joking. And people would be like, what? How does this girl so fast? And I can't run distance, but I'm telling you, I can sprint and run hurdles. It's so funny.
I was going to say, before you told me that it was the gene that makes you really fast, I was going to say, Heidi should just throw it all away and become a power lifter, a professional power lifter.
Yeah. And it's just so crazy. It's just so interesting, all the stuff that it tells you. I know this is like just us shooting the breeze right now, but
we haven't talked. We haven't really, well, what? It's been like 2 days, but
I know. Jenny and I will be together. We can't tell you where. We'll give you a hint.
It's Jamaica.
No, wait, I wasn't going to tell anybody.
No, it's okay. Honestly, here's the thing, you guys. If anybody is so motivated to
follow
us and track us down, we really don't have a shot anyways. So it's just like, come on, bring it. You know what I mean? A little bit of drama, a little bit of conflict never hurt anybody. So yeah, Heidi and I are going to be in Jamaica together, you guys.
Yes. Yep.
How crazy.
Real soon. It'll be fun. Soon. So we'll definitely do some live streaming. So, and it's just for leisure. So it's not like we're going there on a mission or anything.
Exactly. It's not staking out Comet ping pong.
Yeah. So
hanging out with pedos and trying to get the scoop. We were definitely, this is going to be a lot more leisurely and fun. So it'll be nice.
Yeah. All right. So a little bit about what's going on right now. Okay.
Your dad said she can, guys. She beat me in a foot race in our driveway in Bethel.
Of course, I was always racing around, and I wrecked a lot of cars. So I will say this. Oh God. This year is going to be intense. Okay. And I kind of didn't even want to talk about it so much because it's kind of like, it's not even that exciting. It's just kind of concerning. This is a really rough year, okay, for everybody. And I'm going to say 9/11, the terrorist attacks happened. We're going to have a very similar correlation. I'm not going to get into the details. I'm just going to say that you can watch Joni Patrice. She made an excellent video. Sam Jeppy made an excellent video on it. And a lot of great astrologers have. I'm not going into the details. I'll just tell you that if you want the actual facts, go to them. I like doing readings for people, not so much world events. So I'll say this. Just me too intuitively knows this. Okay. This summer is so intense that if it were me, I would not be traveling. So if you have anything dicey in your chart for traveling, I would try to stay away from that. And during the eclipse season, I mean, this is going to be one hell of a year. Okay. Dangerous for traveling, dangerous for everything. I mean, accidents, and it's just, there's a lot of craziness going on, and intensity. It's so intense, meaning people are going to be triggered. People are going to be doing things not normally they probably wouldn't do. Emotions are going to be triggered, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough to deal with. And obviously the markets and the financial economy is going to be a little up and down, I think personally. Yeah. I also think that I'm not going to talk too much about politics. Politics.
That's actually really cool.
That was an accident, but that kind of
politics. Yeah.
Let's just say I can't stand even saying her name. I'm going to go here just a little bit. Like, I think this person that is the Speaker of the House. I'll give you some hints. Okay. And P, I think she is literally like the worst thing in the world. I think she is demonic. I think she's a psychotic lunatic. I really just think she's not, she's not a good person right now to be doing anything. Yes, right now, this is affecting me. Why? Because I have homeowners that can't even apply for loans. Okay. So I'm like annoyed too right now for this government shutdown.
Shutdown, right. Okay.
You
I was
know,
going to ask you if that's had any
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All my buyers, even if my buyers wanted to, they can't even go in and go get their pay stubs if they work for the government. Okay. So it's affecting me too, down the trickle. I kind of like the people complaining about all the paychecks, like, welcome to Heidi's world. This is what happens when you're in sales. Okay. But like, other than that, it is affecting me because my homeowners can't go get, like, when, they can't even get their tax returns. They can't get their bank statements. It is frustrating.
Yeah.
So, I just think that she is so crooked. And I think what bothers me the most is her, Chuck Schumer, Obama, all of these people. They turn on One American News. You can see it. They all said, we need border security walls. I don't even care about the wall. That's the last thing that I care about. Okay. But what annoys me is the fact that they all said that they wanted it. They all had that speech. The only reason they're saying no is because Trump's requesting it. It's disgusting. They are lunatics. Every one of them. Every one of them.
They are. Well, I'll tell you. So to elaborate a little bit on what you said, the only reason that Trump wants to do it so badly is because he is combating human trafficking. And the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Chuck Schumer, all of these scum rats, hell demon rats, they want the wall to be theirs. They're okay with the wall. They were okay with talking about it during the Obama administration because they had control of it. They had control of the drugs being smuggled in, the children, the women, all of the stuff. Okay, all of the tradable goods. It's horrible to refer to people as goods, but I'll tell you, this is how they see them. This is how this scum of the earth sees men, women, and children. They're goods. They're tradable commodities. Okay. So the wall, the whole reason for the shutdown, I can't pretend to know the entire reason for it, but I do have a really good hunch that this is all about reworking the budget behind the scenes and just conserving as much money as possible to put into border security. It is paramount because if we shut down their trafficking operations, which it's mostly that wall, then they can cut human trafficking by, I don't know the numbers, okay, but they can cut it down big time. And like where I am here in South Florida, we have the Port of Miami and the Port of Everglades, which are the largest import and exporting. They're the largest ports in the country. And so down here, you've got the Wasserman Schultz's, the DNC's background. Their playground is down here, right where I am, which is why you see so many crazy, patsies, MK Ultra patsies get triggered down here into doing the shootings and pulling off all kinds of, the one guy, the Caesar guy, he was from down here. He was going to assassinate Trump. They're pulling all this crap down here because a lot of their facilities are down here because it's a safe haven for them. They have cloning facilities down here. They have all kinds of underground bases. I'm working on a theory. I shouldn't even say that because that's how they get you, is they're like, get her before she comes out with the information. But I truly believe that there is a interdimensional or some kind of an interstellar or interplanetary trafficking port or a jump off point down here in South Florida. Fort Lauderdale, if you look at it on a map, which Fort Lauderdale, the moment you cross the Palm Beach County line into Broward County, I don't know about everybody else, I can only speak for myself, but you can feel it. As soon as you pass into Broward County and Dade County, the air is thicker. It's oppressive. You can hear it. You can feel it. I hate going there. I absolutely can't stand going there. But I believe that they have fully operational ports in which they're managing to get these tradable commodities in the form of children and body parts and blood, you know, off planet somewhere, somehow. I know that sounds ridiculous to you guys, but I really, really believe that to be the case. And I can't prove it yet. I'm trying, you know, I'm not the only one, by the way. If you guys that are listening, whoever, you know, the bad guys that are listening to me, I'm not alone on this. Okay. So you can take me out if you want to, but it doesn't end with me. It doesn't end with me. Okay. Everybody, there are a lot of people. There are enough people that want to get to the bottom of this massive trafficking operation. It's so much more than national. It's so much more than international. It's interplanetary. So we talk about Mars. You hear Elon Musk talking about Mars and stuff. It's not what we think. We don't get there the way they tell us that they get there. So I think, oh, I was going to say Fort Lauderdale. If you look at Fort Lauderdale on a map, it lines up directly with the Bermuda Triangle out to sea. And it makes a perfect triangle. So it goes Fort Lauderdale, the Bermuda Triangle, and then down here is Haiti. So it's one big triangle. And I think that this is some kind of a vortex or a portal that they utilize to traffic, to smuggle illegally interplanetary tradable commodities. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but I believe it.
Mr. Will, look, I just have a resting bitch face and I'm not all cheesy smiley all the time. Okay. And please don't start with me because I'm not in the mood. I will shut this thing off so quicker you won't even realize. Okay. If I don't want to smile, I'm not going to smile. Why do you even comment on such stupid things? Like, it's like, no, because you told me to do it. I'm not going to. That's the best part about how I am. All right. So,
I don't tell grown women or grown men like, oh,
right.
Smile. Like
I can do whatever I want. If I want to wear 10 pounds of makeup, if I want to wear a jacket that somebody doesn't like, I'm going to do this. This is my channel. Piss off if you don't like it. Thanks. Okay. Back to business. All right. So,
by the way, Laura Loomer showed up to Nancy Pelosi's property she like recruited a couple
her chart.
What?
Her chart is interesting. She's got a radical, I looked at her chart, okay, today. So her chart is radical like moon in Vishaka. It's Libra and it's in that liberal, most Libra is very liberal, okay? And then, but it's in the nakshatra of Vishaka, which is like the radical one, the one that's, so her moon is there. She also has Sun, Jupiter, and K2 conjunct. That's like corruption. You know what I mean?
We're talking about Pelosi, not Laura Loomer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. Just so everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about Pelosi. First of all, she's 78 years old. When I saw her and listened to her talk, I thought maybe she was having dementia or something. Which now that I saw her age, she possibly could. Like she forgets what she's saying sometimes, almost like she had a couple strokes. You know, her daughter. Did you hear what her daughter said on TV?
What?
Her daughter said, "If anybody gets in my mother's way, she'll cut their heads off and let them bleed to dry." I swear to God, we should play it. It is so crazy. When she said this, like on a live interview with, I don't even know who it was. It was like all blasted all over the news. And I'm like, how is this woman? Why is this woman saying this? She sounds like a whack job. But her daughter said, like, my mother will cut somebody's head off and leave them there, and they won't even know that they're bleeding.
We know. This isn't these people are psychotic, murdering scumbags. This is what they do. They have no empathy. They're sociopathic. They're void of emotion. And I think part of the reason why this year, as you're saying, is going to be so tumultuous is because they're not able to hide their true nature anymore. So they're going to do their very best to facilitate all kinds of chaos around this country and around the world in an effort to, you know, perhaps retain whatever stronghold they have, to retain whatever power they have, and certainly to rope in as many zombie followers as they possibly can. Because without their army of mindless, stupid, zombified SJWs and liberal whack jobs, they have nothing. So they absolutely need a population that is heavily fluoridated, heavily vaccinated, can't think for themselves, brainwashed by liberal media. So turn it off. Throw your device into the ocean. Because as soon as 5G comes around, I don't even know. You guys, I don't even have all that much faith that I can withstand it, because I don't know what that's going to look like. You know, I believe that will be okay, but I think we're all going to have to prepare ourselves. That just the physiological system needs to be as healthy as possible to withstand what 5G is going to bring us. It's something we've never seen before. So, yeah, I'm a little bit worried about it, to be honest. But I think that 5G may be responsible for a lot of the crazy crap that's going to go on this year. I mean, it's just going to cause health problems and all kinds of interferences. Horrible stuff.
I'd be
This
curious.
isn't about fear porn either. I'm not trying to spread fear porn. I do believe that there's things that we can do to kind of, you know, ease it, you know, kind of what's
I
that?
just don't care anymore. I'm so over, like, if I hear one more person just like talk smack and like, you know, I'm just over it. I can't even listen to it. Some of my friends, I can't even listen to their channels anymore because they're so, these people believe anything that somebody throws up and slaps on a YouTube channel. And it's actually kind of sad. And I have to say, some of them are probably in this chat room doing the same thing. Okay. So not saying us, when we put out anything, like for me, okay, when I put anything on this channel, I'm very cautious of what I say because I know people are watching it, they're listening to it. I'm talking astrology, you're correlating astrology with this. And if I'm right about astrology, what if I could be right about everything else, right? So I'm very cautious of what I say because and astrology is something I've studied. It's something I've learned. So it's not like I just woke up one day and I was like, oh, I know astrology and I'm going to do a YouTube. It's not how it went. You need to go listen to like one of my first YouTubes. So, but as we're doing this stuff and as we're on YouTube, it's okay to bring up ideas and it's okay to bring up, you know, I would say more so along the lines of opinions and stuff. But it is not okay to try to swindle and sway masses, in my opinion, for me especially, to try to brainwash people or try to make them believe what I believe. Okay. I'm telling you the only reason why I can say I know Trump's chart. He's the only person. I have facts. If I didn't have his birth time, I wouldn't be so probably as confident to say, like I said, he has good intentions. He's not a liar, like people say, because I know his chart. I have his chart, his birth time. Right. He publishes his birth certificate online because of Obama. He's like, here's my birth certificate. Where's yours, Obama? Right? Okay, so that is why I can factually say things about him because it's what I research and what I study. All the rest of them are kind of speculations because I don't know their ascendants. But when people have no absolute evidence whatsoever, they're just going off of random shit from YouTube and books, and they don't know anything. Okay, they don't know any facts. And they're listening to things that, you know, and they're spreading it out to the masses. I think it's dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Well, and kind of the way I see it too is like you don't have to be pro Trump. Like you can be right. You can be pro or you could be anti-human trafficking, or you could be anti-fascism, real anti-fascism, not Antifa, like against or the Orwellian mindset. You can be all of those things and not, you know, you don't have to get on your knees and bow down to Trump. Okay. But you know, we really have to look at what the alternatives are. Okay. My big thing has always been child trafficking, human trafficking. And I see with my own two eyes what he's done to combat human trafficking. So I'm happy in that regard. I would be really pleased if I heard him address the real dangers of 5G. You know, he's been outspoken about the dangers of vaccinations, you know, Mockingbird Media. So he champions for a lot of the same things that we do. So he definitely appeals to people in that way. But just because we know a little bit about how the control structure works, I am, and I have been apprehensive about whether or not, you know, this is all just a big ruse. Okay. So I don't know. I just try to stay positive and, you know, I go by what I can see, you know, and he is fighting. He wants to save kids. He wants to save women and children and people that have been sold into trafficking. And that's good enough for me. That tells me a lot I need to know about somebody.
And you know what? I have to say this. And if you think, oh, he's part of this simulation, he's this, that, well, guess what? So are you.
We all are.
You are too.
What are we supposed to
pay
do?
taxes to the government, then you are too. You're part of the video game. Okay. So you better play it. You better play it right. Learn a little bit more and don't just jump to conclusions, and make sure you at least keep an open mind. Okay. And in video games, I'm sure not everybody's bad guys, right? So you have to look at it from a logical perspective. What are you going to say, Jenny?
No, I was just looking at the comments. Somebody said that Trump is part of the Black nobility. And I'm thinking that's the first time I've heard that one. I've heard that he's, a part of all kinds of, all different kinds of secret societies. That's the first time I've heard that one. I don't know. It would definitely be naive and ignorant to think that he hasn't been groomed for this. I'm certain that he has, maybe even subjected to some level of what we would call mind control, which isn't necessarily a sinister thing. What it is it's a set of values. It's a set of it's a mechanism. It's the way the brain works. So was he trained and groomed for this position? I think so. I think it would be silly I think we'd be kidding ourselves if we thought he just one day up and decided, oh, I'm going to give this a shot.
No, he's been talking about it since he was on Oprah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just talk about that.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
I tend to subscribe to the idea of the white hats, the black hats, and then the gray hats. So the white hats would be considered the resistance factions within military intelligence and within the government. They're the good guys, okay? I still believe that there are good people in government and military. People think I'm crazy for that. People think I'm biased because I was born into an intelligence family. But I know, I can tell you, there are good people in government and military. These are the white hats. This is the resistance. Then we have the black hats. So that's Schumer, that's Pelosi, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and everybody way above them that we'll never even know their names. And then in the middle, we have the gray hats. Now, this is like the swing vote. These are the people that want out, but they took the blood oath. They can't just say what they want to say. They can't get out. So they're I think it all kind of lies with the gray hats, and that really goes for the entire population as well. A lot of people are on the fence, and that's a dangerous place to be right now. There is no more middle ground. You're either with the fight or you're against us. I really think there's no middle ground anymore.
This Elliot character in the chat, if Heidi is at the point where she's able to do this, which is very difficult, she should first of all, I've read thousands of charts. What are you talking about? You must have just chimed in. Okay. Number two, compare charts of General Patton to see if Trump is his reincarnation. Just so you know, I don't do readings without birth time. So if you get his birth time, absolutely, an actual birth certificate. I won't even do a reading for somebody without a birth time. I won't. I just don't do them because the astrology that I practice is very calculative, and you need the exact time of birth. So,
I love Patton, by the way. He's like my cover photo. I have like a whole folder full of his quotes and his life story, and he's one of those people. I believe that General Patton had full or almost full recall of his incarnations and had a very deep spiritual understanding, which made him a powerful combatant. It made him a genius at warfare and strategy. So I really admire the guy. I respect the guy. A lot of the New Age folks and a lot of this, New Age, by the way, being one of the apocalypse religions in end times, they want people to get on board with this, one love, one world family, and veganism and all that stuff. And I think that's all bogus. But what Patton was,
that's where the only thing we might disagree on.
Okay. That's okay, because I think that it's fine to each his own. But yeah, for me, I can't get on board with veganism. But this whole thing with pacifism and non-aggression and violence doesn't solve anything. That is a lie that the winners of history told you. That's a lie that the controllers of this planet tell the population to keep the human spirit, which is a massive collective energy. they do that to keep it at bay. Because if we all knew that violence is the way to usurp power, to take power back, this would all end tomorrow. So I'm a huge advocate for violence, not senseless violence, obviously.
And another thing, this whole Jesuit thing that everybody talks about, like, I think there needs to be, like, everybody just automatically thinks everybody's like Jewish and they're bad. Like, not all Jews are bad, okay? Not all Jewish, there's, and Jenny can maybe drop some things on this, but like, I have heard that the cabal is in actual Ukraine. It has nothing to do with anything in Israel. So like,
it is the Ukraine. It is the Ukraine. We all think it's Iraq, Afghanistan, or something like that. I think it comes down to the Ukraine and frickin' China.
Exactly. And everybody's worried about the Israelis and stuff, like, oh, all the people in Israel. I don't think that is the case. I think it's China. I think it has to do with exactly what you just said. I mean, I think there's a bigger picture here, and we just drop hints and say, oh, they're part of this, they're that, they're this. Do you know? Do you know for sure? That's what annoys me about everybody. Like, do you know? Like, did you actually go and witness it and see it for yourself? I don't think so. So how the hell can you sit here on YouTube and say, this is what it is? This is the facts. This guy's part of this. You don't freaking know. You don't. You're just speculating and listening to and reading a lot of books that people spread, whether it's factual or not, or great ideas.
Well, anybody can write a book. Anybody can write a book. I know authors, and I'm thinking to myself, you wrote a book, like, and people bought it. It's just like crazy, right? So go ahead.
Show me some facts, and then I'll believe it. Show me a video. Okay, show me that person doing something. Bring it to my house, send it to me, and then we'll talk. Okay. Other than that, you don't know shit. Like, that's what annoys me. Like, I just have that's why I had to get off YouTube for a while, because my patience, like, just on certain things, like, the people that hate Trump so bad, like, why? Do you know him? Does he cook you dinner? Does he ask you what you want for dinner? Is he bothering you that bad? No, the reason why you don't like him is because of what you're fed about him every day, because you hear on the news. That's all, the only reason. That's why. What about all the other positive things about him? What about the fact that we're not getting blown up by North Korea anymore? What about that? How about that? Like, nobody cares. That's old news now. Nobody even brought that up. Now it's like, oh, well, he should have done this and he should have done that. Really? Okay, come on. I'm just over it.
No, I am too. I mean, what's hard is, like, there are just so many people that we know and we live around and we work with them, and they're in our communities, and they're actually experiencing a different reality than we are. So, and this has happened with people that are very near and dear to my heart, very good friends of mine. We kind of clashed a little bit, because we'll look at an example that I'll use is this video that circulated. It was a huge thing over the weekend. This Native American guy drumming his drum in the face of this MAGA kid, and everybody saw the footage. Okay, after everybody jumped to conclusion right away. They're dragging this kid through the mud. They doxed him. They got the wrong kid too, by the way. So the entire country harassed the wrong kid. Okay, it wasn't even the kid in the video. And then, the real footage comes out. It's 2 hours of footage. And it's like, even then, people are witnessing, we're looking at the same one video, but we are perceiving two entirely different things. And that's where the mind control comes in. That's where the question of, are you free or are you a slave, comes in. Can you see, are you so bound by hatred for Trump, racism, emotional thinking? It's like emotion is emotion, okay? Facts are facts. And we're dealing with this horrible thing right now where this half of this country, anybody that still plugs into Mockingbird Media, they're going to continue to be triggered by emotional stimuli, probably forever now, probably until it does them in, until they are committed or they are pushed to senseless violence against themselves and people in their community. They're going to try to tell them to go out and kill people that are MAGA or people that support the president or support the wall. Okay, so they literally have millions of people in this country doing their dirty work and fighting their fellow citizens over stuff they don't even understand. Nobody really knows how serious the trafficking problem is. That's the whole reason for the wall. So I'm like, freaking build it, man. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, besides that, let me talk a little more astrology. We're going to talk a little more astrology, and then we're getting off here. Today was kind of just to get on here and just
we just wanted to talk and get
back into the groove. We'll start doing readings again soon, okay? And just in case you want to book a reading with me, One of a Kind by Heidi.org. And if you go to the info part on my channel, it goes right to the website. Then Jenny's is Jenny Moonstone. Is it still jennymoonstone.com? Jenny?
JennyMoonstone.com is my website, but my channel is Jenny Constantine, which is my real name.
Okay. And make sure you subscribe to Jenny's channel too. And yeah, so today was kind of just a very casual chit chat, nothing serious.
Are they legalize full-term abortions in New York?
They're trying to, I heard.
Yeah. Well, it's going to go to Supreme Court, and Kavanaugh is going to be there, and he's going to be like, no. But still, can you believe that? Apparently it's going to be incredibly expensive. So it's not going to be like, every other day. But think about it. Their supply of babies and children and adrenochrome and body parts and blood, that's all getting cut off. Okay. So now they're like, oh, let's go ahead and start aborting full-term babies. That'll keep them fed for a while. Like, it's really disgusting. It's mind-boggling that this is happening in 2019 under the guise of freedom and feminism and a woman's right to choose. Like, it's pretty scary what they're capable of.
Yeah. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. And I'll say that, if you are on the left, great. I don't hate you, So I just don't understand why somebody has to be so radical where it's like you're just rude, I think that's what bothers me. I have a huge thing for respect. If somebody's disrespectful, I think there's a problem. So I think everybody should be respectful to everybody, regardless. Like, yes, if somebody does something to you, obviously, but if you don't know somebody and they haven't intentionally done something to you, I don't think you should just automatically, if you don't know them, just be going off the deep end on both sides, So I think that what they did is exactly what's going on in the charts. Dividing. This year, war. This year is crazy weather. This year, hold on to your pants, okay? Because this is going to be one interesting year, and it's only getting it more intense from here. So I suggest that, everybody just tries to do their best to stay open-minded and don't take anything too seriously. If you hear something, you kind of take it with a grain of salt and do some extra research before you, go on a sword for it. I just think you need to really, this is a year of actually analyzing a lot of things, because a lot of things are going to come out. With Jupiter and Scorpio, Jupiter is corruption. It can be. Jupiter can be finding morals, corruption. Like this transit's going to bring out the corruption. It's going to bring out all the craziness. This is also going to bring out a lot of things nobody wanted to talk about, and all the stuff that's been investigating, and it's going to do things about money. This is going to be a very intense year. Change money systems around, and we'll talk about that in a different channel where I talk more on charts. But I would say, just as a little intro, starting now, just be open. Don't be so closed-minded to everything, and be aware of your surroundings. And if you live in an area and there's a warning, you probably should get out. Don't take anything for a grain of salt this year.
Right. You have to understand that they're going to play on every trigger point.
And get a gun. He said, Joe says, and get a gun. Yes.
And get a gun. If you're in a state where you are legally allowed to have a weapon, get your concealed carry license, learn about safety, find something that you can conceal, find something that's comfortable. I'm racking up a quite nice collection of my very own. I'm a huge gun advocate. I love it. But everybody just needs to, I did a Facebook Live and I talked about the importance of neutrality. And that's certainly not to say be passive and just let it all pass you by.
Right.
But before we go calling for blood, we need to take a look, dissect what's being presented to us in the news and really look at where all the players are. And what they want is for us to either, they don't even care if we get mad. They want us to get either really excited or mad. They don't care, because to them, emotional energy is energy and they eat it up. It's ratings, it's people talking about it, it's people going into each other's throats. They do, so that's something to keep in mind. But I think this year is just like, it's desperation.
So one other thing I got to say too, Rahu is going into the nakshatra of Ardra this year. Ardra, it's Lord Shiva. It's can be very spiritual. Okay. Jenny's moon's in Ardra, but it can also be very destructive. All 9/11 happened with heavy planets in Ardra. The United States chart has like 4 planets in Gemini, basically could be in the 8th house, depending on the ascendant. This is, if it's an 8th house, what is the 8th house? It's control, surrender, manipulation, death, endings, death and rebirth, addictions, affairs, obstacles. It's a dark house. Okay. So this Rahu is extremes. All right. It's extremes. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going to die and the whole world's getting wiped out. But I'm going to tell you, things will change. Okay. Jupiter's in Scorpio. Jupiter is going to bring out all the darkness of all the leaders and the priests and the corruption and all the stuff. You thought last year was crazy?
Oh my
God. It just started. Jupiter just went into Scorpio. Okay. Well, then it goes in next year, it goes into Sagittarius. That's when it goes. So Vedic astrology is about a year behind. Okay. And then another thing, Ardra Nakshatra has a lot to do with the weather. All right. So a lot to do with, earthquakes, hurricanes, everything. That nakshatra has a lot to do with the weather, destroying. So things can rebuild. Okay. And it's going to be intense, like so intense this summer that I just got chills. But that means that, and I'm not sitting here trying to scare you, but I will say a lot of other astrologers go into some more detail. But I use the nakshatras. So the nakshatras are, if you look at the United States chart and you look at this is definitely, and it's a much needed change, I think, whatever is going to happen. Not saying it's, but with change, then better things can come after that. So that's all I really have to say for now, but we will be doing more readings and stuff. Obviously, we just didn't want to, we have 4 days left in January. Jenny and I are going to be together February 5th to the 8th. So we'll definitely do some shows when we're together in Jamaica. And then we're going to start getting back on track, but I needed a break.
I needed a break too. I mean, everybody's been manning their stations really well. On the Q front, you've got lots of people digging into the Q stuff, representing that aspect of the reality. There's just a lot of people are waking up too, more and more every day. And I see, my Facebook, I have a really great bunch of people on Facebook that are always bringing it full force. I mean, they will rip apart a story before it even hits the ground. And they're like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. That's fake news. And they're really putting effort into breaking it down, kind of in layman's terms for people to understand what's really going on. So I'm really impressed with people right now. I think it helps to maybe focus on that. If you get really, this is my advice for the day. If you get really discouraged and frustrated because you're looking around and everybody around you is a retard. And I don't mean that, I'm not trying to be ableist, okay? But the definition of retard is like slow, delayed, okay? It's not, not making fun of handicapped people. I'm just saying that when you look around and you see people that are just not getting it, focus on the people that are getting it and give them encouragement and share their work. If there's YouTubers out there that are doing honest work and they're doing their very best, promote them, share their work, do your part. Don't just sit back. Okay. I talk about this all the time, but we are in the middle of the past couple years and the next few years. This window will be something of legend. 100 years from now, 200 years, 1,000, 10,000 years into the future, this will be a thing of legend, what we are witnessing, what we are a part of right now, complete with heroes, villains, and everybody in between. And my question to you is, who are you going to be? Are you going to sit by and do nothing? History will forget you. We won't know who you are. You'll disappear. Or are you going to facilitate the shift? Are you going to be brave and courageous and speak out, especially when it's inconvenient and scary to do so? Be brave, because I think that when all of this comes out, and it will, you'll be remembered for being ahead of the curve. You'll be remembered for speaking out when it was scary, but you were one of the only people doing it. So, I mean, hold on to that. Hold true to the fact that we are going in a good direction, and maybe not focus so much on the tards that surround us, because they're just dead weight anyways.
Well, not everybody's going to wake up, or whatever, pay attention. So it's a waste of your own energy.
It is. Let
It's
them
like,
be.
instead of trying to preach it, just say like, okay, if they don't want to hear it, it's trust me, it's not worth it. They're never going to get it.
No.
Thanks for the super chats. And David, great astrology books. I learned a lot from videos, but I'm not a big reader. I actually hate reading, so I needed to listen. But I would say, I have a video, one of my first videos. It's how I learned Vedic astrology. I go through a ton of astrologers and Vedic astrologers and people that I learned from. So, and a lot of them have been on this channel. So if you go to my VIP list, that's where I suggest, because astrology is not just like, oh, I'm a Leo. Oh, I'm a Gemini. Oh, I'm a Pisces. It is so much more than what you think it is. Okay. So if you're new, and I'm just going to just show you a quick screen. I'll just show you my chart. I'll put up. Hold on. I got to take all of these people's charts off here that I've gave readings to.
That's nice of you.
I know, right?
To not reveal everybody's natal chart.
Here, and to all the people that try to guess my birthday, even though I talk about it all the time, you can have my chart and see it. How about that? All right. So, because people ask me and I'm like, I've done a million YouTubes on it. it's no secret. All right. My birthday is September 12th, 1984, 1338, USA, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All right. So here's my screen. I'm going to just show you. This is how much more I use Kala software. Kala software, it's expensive, but it's well worth it. You can go to my website, oneofkindbyheidi.org. You can go buy software. It takes you right to the link. Ernst Wilm, he has actually been on the channel too. He's a great person. He uses different calculations than I do. But as you see, charts are a lot more than just, oh, what's my sun sign? Your sun sign is not that relevant. It has to do with how people kind of see you. It can have to do with something with your father, but it doesn't always net somebody. I remember some comment, oh, how do you, that's how she is with her father. Oh yeah. No, that has nothing to do with the father. 10th house, you have to look at the father. The 9th house, you have to look at the father. You have to look at a certain significator in the chart for a father. You also have to look at the PIK Saturn. There's a lot of things you have to look at. It's not just, oh, hey, the sun's the father. Okay. It's not that easy. So this is this is all the differences. Dashas, you have to look at strengths of planets. You have to look at your rising sign. Your ascendant is the most important part of your chart. Why? Because that's your body driving the bus. Okay. And then your moon, emotionally, why? Because it's how you think. It's how you are going to be. And a serial killer with a great ascendant, but has a screwy moon, definitely is going to have emotionally an imbalance. So you have to look at the moon. That's why in India, the moon is very important. I'll give you a great example. Another reason I stopped doing shows for a little bit is because there was a murder in a quarter mile from where I work, and somebody went into the model home and massacred the guy. It was horrible. And first thing I did was find the kid, look up his chart. Well, he had a moon Rahu conjunction in Aslasia. He had an exact conjunction with Rahu over his moon. Okay. And he was mentally crazy, right? During that transit. You could see it. I mean, it never fails. This never fails. I didn't even need his time, but I just knew, because your moon sign isn't going to really change throughout the day. It can change depending on the degrees, but astrology is way more important than your sun sign. Okay. So when people are just asking me such questions sometimes, and nothing with David's question, I'm just saying this, you have to get software. You have to get, there's a lot to learn. So not just, it's always good to start with the basics, learn the houses, the 12 houses, learn all the planets, learn the rulerships. What rule, like I'm a Scorpio rising, what rule? Scorpio, Mars in the first house. So the ruler of my chart, first lord, Mars, sits in the first house. It does sit with K2. Then you have to look at the second lord. The second house is money. Where does the second lord go? It sits in the second house, Jupiter. Okay, so you have to look at all of these things. It's like a big puzzle. Then there's also transits, how you're going to be, what's going to happen to you from your ascendant, transits from the moon. You're going to have to look at what's transiting from how you're thinking. All right. So there's all these different things. There's also charts within charts. This is a chart you look at for wealth. This is a chart you look at for happiness. This is a chart you look at for marriage. This is a chart you look at end all tell all chart. There are charts within charts. Okay. So it's not just, oh, that's why when you get a reading from me, it's not like I don't do charts without readings without times, because if I was born 20 minutes later, I would have been a Sagittarius rising. If I was born 20 minutes earlier, I would have been, or probably 30 minutes earlier, I would have been a Libra rising. Right. So that is how this works. I know you probably don't even care, but regardless. So the best thing to do is learn the basics.
Why do you even say that? That's so funny.
Because, all right. So that's a little astrology, like quick blast, but there's a ton of great astrologers out there. Some people, Western astrology works for some people. It can work. I'm not saying it's wrong. Some people use different calculations, and whatever works for you works. I've studied both. For me, Vedic is the way. Vedic astrology gets down to the psychological and gets down to the nitty gritty things that you don't even want to know about yourself. Okay. Western is more of the like, oh, it's more bubbly and nice. That's how I look at it. Vedic, the more dark, dirty that you don't want to talk about. Okay. Yeah, and it's like karma.
Western is like new age avocados, love and light stuff. They want to tiptoe around the real issues, but the Vedic gets down to the nitty gritty, the dirty stuff. Like,
yeah, that you don't even want to tell like yourself. You don't even want to admit that to you don't even want to admit these things. But then you know what the best thing about it is? It explains things. You think you're screwed up? Well, there's an answer why. Okay. That's why it's a wonderful thing. Okay. Even like, not saying you can justify why that guy did that killing, but you kind of can. He had Rahu conjunct his moon. Yeah. It's not saying it was right, but why it happened is there. Okay, so shows it. And it's never wrong.
Another thing too, Heidi, though, is that the elite, or whatever you want to call them, the cabal, they know about astrology like through and through. Like they know it inside out, backwards, front, everything. And they will plan for a child to be born on a very specific day and time and place, because they have such a knowledge of astrology that if
makes sense.
Yeah, if the cabal wants a child to come into this world that will eventually hold some kind of a role or position of power, they will make sure to align the birth of that child on the specific day, time, location, and then they will. So what they do, it's very ritualistic. It's quite awful, but they then summon this entity, a dark entity of their choice, and they will then use this kind of portal. They open a portal through trauma, through words, through incantations, and they basically open the child itself as a portal, and they ask this entity to come into the child, to be that child, so that when we look at people like Hillary Clinton and we're like, oh my God, they're monsters. They were all engineered that way through black magic, through astrology, through timing, through ritual. So they do this. So they will plan to have a kid. If you want to
I would probably plan to have a kid at a certain time if I was going to have a kid. If I could actually.
I willed myself into labor with my first son because I wanted him to be Piscean like me.
But he's a Leo rising.
No,
remember?
No, that's Jason. No, that's, oh God, listen to me saying like, oh God, we're gonna have to look this over.
So yeah, regardless of that's it. But that's the thing. And here's the thing. What this
I don't even know my chart. Like
I don't.
I don't even know my chart.
Jenny's like, oh yeah, what am I again?
I'm a Cancer sun.
No, not even close. All right. So, but I'll say this. Think about this. If you know, let's just go with common sense. All right. If you know that the cabal, whoever, the elites, all the shady people that run the world are using this, okay? Why in the world do you think they're going to give us accurate information?
Right.
They're feeding us, oh yeah, believe this astrology, here you go, but they're giving us the wrong calculations. They're giving us the wrong information. If you take a star chart app, like literally download star chart on your app store, stick it in the sky. Everybody do this right now, tonight, okay? Go get it. Go get it. Stick it in the sky. Anybody can get it if you have an iPhone, or I'm sure Samsung does it too. Go stick it in the sky and see. Look at where the sun is today. Look where the moon is right now. Look at where Saturn is sitting. And look also where Jupiter is, because they say Jupiter is in Sagittarius. Per NASA, it's not. It's in Scorpio. Okay, so I'm going to go with what I can see. This is like how my rational mind thinks. So like, for instance, if somebody has a baby now, they would say, oh, my kid is let me just see, because I don't even know the transits today. Okay, somebody has a baby today. They're like, okay, but the sun has shifted. The sun is now in Capricorn, right? So the last show I did, I was like, everybody says, oh, Capricorns are born, right? Capricorns are born. No, the sun, it's usually a sign behind. So just like I was a Virgo sun, but now I'm a Leo sun. Trust me, the Leo sun makes a lot more sense to me. All right. So, and that's just one part of your chart. One part. That's astrology, and that's a little crash course. Okay. So, but I'm not saying Western astrology is wrong. All right. I'm not. It's just however you want to use it. It's just, for me, I click better with the Vedic. It's just how it works. And I like to believe, I've tested it on thousands of people when I was studying it.
It predates Western mumbo jumbo. Like you can't even, there's no comparison.
Right. And you can see it in the sky real time now. Like, I don't know. That's just all I really need to see. So anyway, but that's just, that's all we have for today. Thanks for listening to us.
Maybe next time we'll do readings.
No, we will. We're definitely going to do readings next time. We're going to do readings. And actually, and if you want rods, my dad is in the chat right here. So if you're interested in purchasing them, I don't even know if he's making them again, but I think he is. Bill at Pagosi Excavation. Dad, type your.
Please do a couple rod questions just for fun.
All right. So if you don't know what the rods are, these are divination rods. Okay. And yes, they're fun.
Heidi, I meant to tell you, my husband told me, okay, so my husband's in construction, and the other day, legitimately, they had somebody find water in the ground using the rods.
That's what they're made for, Jenny.
He was like, oh my God.
Why do you think my dad had them in his truck?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with him. Like, my dad wasn't in his truck, like asking questions about his psychic life. That's for sure. Okay. No, that's what they were made for. They're energy pullers or whatever. So, but what my dad did say, he said,
what's the website? I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
It's his email. There's no website. You just email him and then he'll respond back.
What is it?
I don't know. Did he put it in there? Yeah, I forget. Bill, BILL at pagozzi excavation.com. PIGOZZI excavation.com. Okay. So these are divination rods, similar to a pendulum. Did I tell you I got a pendulum, Jenny? I have one.
Good.
My sister got me one. Okay.
I had one, but it broke.
I like the rods better personally.
Sorry, is it 2 G's or one? Just one.
Vigozzi.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so these rods, like they're just on these plastic tips. You can't I move them, I hold my thumbs on them just to get them back in place. Okay. So, and the new trick is say to them, show me a yes, show me a no every time before, right? Because they like to change it up. Show me a yes.
So there's our designated yes.
No, there that is. You see?
Yeah.
Show me a no.
I've retired my rods. I abused them. They don't work.
And you can abuse them for sure.
Yeah, no. I can't.
Okay, and you see, like they just sit here. I'm not like moving these things around. It's freaky. I was freaked out when I first touched them too. Okay, go ahead, ask away.
Okay, so you guys, now's the time. If you guys have yes or no questions, now's the time to ask. I want to know, what do you want to know? Are we going to learn the truth about, are we going to learn the truth about interplanetary trafficking this year?
Are we going to learn the truth about interplanetary? You heard her, trafficking.
You heard her. Yes. And you know why? Because I'm going to break that story. That's why.
Okay, go ahead. What else?
Who else? All right. Do you guys have any questions? Now's the time. Twalbrink0911 says, am I going to close the real estate deal? Oh, wait, no, never mind. He says, is he going to close the real estate deal he offered to you? So I'm sorry, I didn't finish reading the question before I asked it. That sounds a little silly. That's a joke. Okay.
Do I know him?
Is Litecoin going back up this year to over $1,000?
That's a good one. Is
Litecoin going up above $1,000 this year?
Is Litecoin going above $1,000 this year? Let's just confirm with the other ones. These ones are a little longer, so I got to sit back a little bit. Show me a yes. Is Litecoin going over $1,000 this year?
There's some good questions in the chat right now, you guys.
Okay.
I want to know, is President Trump a reincarnation of General Patton?
Is President Trump a reincarnation of General Patton?
No, that's okay. Because you know what? He holds his spirit and he holds that energy. Okay, another one.
Taryn will answer. Will Taryn's job interview go well tomorrow?
Taryn, wait, let me get my cards, hon. I'll be right back. 1 second, you guys.
Yes. Okay. You do have the Four of Swords, so you might not get an answer as quick as you want.
You're stressing out about it. Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh my God.
Ace of Pentacles.
Four of Swords.
Yeah.
Check it out. Four of Swords. Yes.
Yeah. But the end card was the Ace of Pentacles. So regardless if this interview doesn't come, it's a good one. Something good's about to shift. So it just might be a little delayed or some, it just might not be exactly what you think. Ace of Pentacles again, both decks. 2 decks, Ace of Pentacles.
Yeah, Four of Swords. So Four of Swords, honestly, that tells me like relax. Like the hard part is the anxiety regarding the situation, but it's like don't even worry.
Yeah.
I do have to shuffle the cards. Someone said Trump is owned by the KGB. Like, listen, I'm owned by the KGB. Heidi's owned by the KGB. Like, what are you talking about?
What the hell is the KGB?
It's the Russians. It's like
Okay.
Russian intelligence.
I'm not. Is Heidi owned by the KGB?
Careful. Be careful.
Is Trump owned by the KGB?
Maybe there's a little bit of association there, like whatever. I would rather be on the side of the KGB than with the deep state. Honestly. Is the full-term abortion law going to stand?
Is the full-term abortion law going to stand?
Jeez Louise. Listen, people are going to kill me for this. I'm pro-choice within the first 4 to 6 weeks because that's just my opinion. All right. I can't be over here like I'm so anti this and that. Like, I know that case by case, that's just how it is. Like, sometimes you have to make that kind of a decision, but a full-term abortion, like, that's unthinkable.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I can't even.
Is Trump owned by Israel? Did you see that? They went in and then zipped out.
Yeah. It might not be black and white. You know what I mean? The yes and no. I don't think that some of the answers to these questions might not be black and white. A
Right.
lot of gray area. Ooh, is Ruth Bader Ginsburg dead? Half. Yeah, she's like half alive, half dead.
Is Ginsburg dead?
Isn't she disgusting? She's one of the most difficult people to look at ever.
I don't know. Pelosi annoys me more.
They're both disgusting.
Oh my God, I don't even want to know the answer to this. Is the government shutdown going to end in the next 7 days?
Jeez. I'm so glad that the U.S. State Department is still processing passports because I almost didn't get mine in time. And then
I know, right?
That would have been so miserable. RBG is Larry King. Oh, that would be such a great plot twist. I dream of such magical things. How great would that be?
Is the current Hillary Clinton a clone?
I mean, you see a different Hillary every time you see her in public, so.
Is Biden going to run for president?
What kind of dirt could they possibly have on Trump? I don't even know. He's not a pedophile, and apart from raping and eating,
Do you not understand? If there was anything corrupt about him, it would be out there by now. Okay, they are making things like, come on, guys, let's use our brains.
No, I can forgive anything. Anything is forgivable. Anything and everything, even murder, I think is forgivable as long as it's not a child. If you're not raping, eating, torturing children and babies, I forgive you for anything else. And like, don't like abuse animals either. But that's it. Stay away from the kids.
I was like, wait, relax with that. Yeah.
Stay away from the kids. Stay away from the animals. Everything else, I love violence. So
Jenny's crazy.
Don't trigger Heidi. See, they did it.
Will the power be transferred to the people? God, that was no, unfortunately, no, guys. That's not the world we signed up in for.
Yeah.
No, Heidi's not getting laid in Jamaica. So get your little crude ass comments out of here. Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's a no boy. There's no boys allowed. No boys.
It's a work trip, guys. No, I won a trip because I hit a certain sales number. So Jenny is my date, my guest, actually.
I'm Heidi's +1.
Jenny is my guest that I'm taking to the place we're going. Okay. Alrighty. So what about Venezuela?
Is Trump a time traveler? Wait. Has anybody in the Trump, this is good because Trump's uncle came into possession of the Tesla papers. Okay. Is anybody in Donald Trump's family involved in time traveling experiments? Yes. Quick yes. I knew it. Listen, you guys, time travel and all of that, everything in that realm is we're going to find out about it. We're going to find out about how they've been doing it, how it affects every facet of our life. Oh my God, people aren't going to know what to do with themselves. But don't worry, I'll be here to help you. I'll be your shoulder to cry on.
Okay, great question. Is President Trump's birth information released to the public, his actual birth information?
Because he wants people to know what he's made of.
Guys, he's a Scorpio. He is all like, what you see is what you get, and some people just can't take it.
I wouldn't want to be on his bad side though. Like, I thought about it, and if he didn't like you or didn't respect you, it would be like living on like the cold side of the moon.
No,
like,
exactly. That's what he's like. He's just like, he's done with you. That's like,
exactly.
That's how I am. So I have a lot of respect.
So yeah, I like it too. Is Mike Pence a pedophile?
Oh God.
Yes, he is. I know he is.
Let's relax with that. Hold on. Hold on. Is Mike Pence, cannot use that word. Is Mike Pence, let's start with this. Mike Pence corrupt?
You're not allowed to will it in the other direction, Heidi.
Hold on.
You can't make it.
Is Mike Pence a pedophile?
Half. He's half a pedo.
I don't think that. His wife wouldn't allow him.
Oh my God. See, and I happen to think that Mike Pence's wife is worse than he is. I think she is a witch of the
Is
worst.
Mike Pence just a bubbly Christian?
No.
Yes. Oh God.
That's a good question. Will crypto mass adoption occur? I think what you mean by that, if I'm understanding correctly, you mean fiat currency gone, cryptocurrency here, like bye-bye cryptos. I mean, bye-bye fiat, hello cryptos. I hope so.
Will cryptos be the new currency?
I have a question. If I write Elon Musk an email, or if I try to contact Elon Musk, will he come on my show? No. Damn it. I really want to talk to him. I have some questions for him.
So guys, if cryptocurrency, this is going to be that's a great question. And that's personally what I believe, that is logically thinking, to get cryptos over to the next level, to actually be the, exchanges and the money and all that stuff, not exchanges, but the money we use, currency we use. I think that's going to take time. Okay. That's not going to be a process that happens in, 12 months. I mean, it's just not going to happen like that. Personally, I think that takes years, because it's just the way it would be. Okay?
Listen to me? I'm still stuck on Elon. Do you think you like Elon, Heidi? Don't even lie.
Oh, no, I know he doesn't bother me. I like him.
Oh my God. I
would hang out with him.
I want to drink some, like,
maybe we'll see him in Jamaica. Oh, God, what else do you want to ask about?
Is John F. Kennedy alive? John F. Kennedy Jr.
Is John F. Kennedy Jr. alive?
He's half alive. I don't know.
So if they don't want to answer, you will get weird answers. Okay. Yes.
Elon might be a shill, but he still knows his shit. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
is Elon Musk evil?
No, I don't think he's evil. I don't see evil.
Sorry.
Oh my God. I went to bat for the guy that plays Aquaman recently, because somebody posted.
Is that the guy that was grabbing the daughter's boobs on TV?
He was Heidi Vandenberg. He was not. He was showing affection to his little girl. Ask it right now. Is Jason Momoa a pedophile? He ain't no pedophile.
Is Jason Momoa a pedophile?
No. They don't want to answer. He's not There's no way. I know he's not.
Well, it's a slow no.
It's a slow no.
Let's ask the other ones.
He's not a pedophile. I
What's
went to
his last
bat for
name?
him.
Why don't you get his chart? Is Jason what?
Jason Momoa. I'll just say Aquaman or Khal Drogo. Either of those will work. God, he's
okay. Ask again.
Is Jason Momoa a pedophile? No. He's suing the pieces of shit that took that video out of context because he's such a family man and he loves his wife and children so much that probably hurt him so deeply. I couldn't even.
Okay, is Michelle Obama a man?
Michael?
I don't think she's a man at all. Never have thought
she's. Joan Rivers got killed because she told the world that Michelle Obama was a transgender.
What if Michelle Obama made herself a man after? I don't know.
Like born a woman.
Well,
and then...
Yeah. Was Michelle Obama born a man? There's no way. I've seen pictures of her. You can tell that. She might be she might be a Neanderthal. I don't know. Oh God. Okay. So what else?
Let's see. I want to see if we have any good questions here in the chat.
My rods are not off today. What are you talking about, Mr. Whatever your name is? I'm sorry, relax, okay?
Will Trump be reelected in 2020? Good. Thank God. Listen, let me frickin' tell you something. Heidi, if he's not, they'll come for us first. All of the truth speakers, everybody that's been talking about MAGA and build a wall, they'll come for us first. So we better freaking win. We have to fight for our lives at this point.
Yes.
Is David Icke, I have to be careful what I say because there may come a time when we actually get to meet David Icke, but is David Icke truthful? Weird.
Partially.
Thanks, Robert. Oh, Robert's in the super chat.
Thank you, Robert.
Oh, thanks, Robert. I love Robert. Robert's a good guy, good client.
Does David Icke have wrong information on Donald Trump?
One more time for the people in the back.
Does David Icke have disinformation on Donald Trump?
You know what, though? I don't think he's even doing it purposely. I think he's just...
This is my only question about him. I like him, okay? I've always liked him, and I like
him too.
I have one question to him, and I would love somebody to ask him. How is he still alive, living 2 streets down from the Queen, talks smack on her, and she has not gone after him? Just Trisha, Trisha, numerologist. Go check her out, Trisha G, numerology. She won't even say the word like FBI, okay? Because she lives around there. It's a lot different in Europe. They don't get on YouTube and bash.
No.
It's different. It's totally different. What is confusing to me is how he's still able to live in that same city and he's still and he says the things he says about the Queen. That's what I would like to know about. Yeah. I'd be very curious, because I do think a lot of things that he says make a lot of sense, but that's one thing that doesn't make sense to me. So what kind of things going on there? That's just one thing. And he worked for BBC, so everything needs to be questioned. I think he has. I think he has a lot of great ideas. I think he really made me question the Saturn thing and the moon and everything. Definitely. But he's opened up my mind. But there's nothing that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, going on the cross and dying for his facts. Right. I would never do that with anything. The only thing I'll do that with is astrology, because this show has proved to me that it's facts. Okay.
Well, and we should also take into consideration, and I personally believe this, but if you incarnate here and you're doing the work of, you know, you can call it God's work, you can call it the good work, the great work, and you're spreading truth and you're really here to fight for the betterment of humanity, I do believe that whatever forces are around us that we can't see, I think that some people are granted protection, divine protection, and they're saved from diseases, from accidents, from murder, because they are meant to be here. And I think that the universal mechanisms work in ways that we can't understand.
Yeah, I just like, and I'm not saying that as like a downgrading to him, because I think he does bring up some very interesting points. And I think he is definitely a risk taker to call out the things that he has called out, because I'm sure it's not easy for him. You know, he's done probably a lot of work, but that's just one thing that I'd have to like, look at the Hillary Clinton hit list. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
so look at like this. Okay. So think about it. We got to think logically. This is how Heidi brain works. So if Seth Rich or whatever, and all these people that the Hillary Clinton just like came out with like little lingering things and then boom, axed, you know, like it just, to me, something about that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
All right. That's all.
I would like to know this too, if you have one more question.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, Barack and Barry Soetoro, are those children their biological children? Are they like rent-a-kids? They're like rental kids. I feel like
hold on, it's moving.
For the front, for the family, for the picture perfect family. But meanwhile, if Michelle is a man, you know, like if she still has, you know, the package down there, you can't really.
I think his kids he had to have in vitro, right? So they're like genetic kids, babies.
Well, you know, that story though that Michelle came out was talking about in vitro. I honestly think that was like a segue into saying we did in vitro because I was born without a uterus. And you know, that's what I swear, you think I'm crazy, but I swear to God, that is a dude. My problem with her has nothing to do with the fact that she's a he, and everything to do with the fact that they are corrupt to the freaking core. I don't care if you're a transgender, if whatever you are, I don't care. It's about.
And you know, the funny thing, they don't even bother me nearly as bad as like Pelosi does. Well, like, I'm not saying I would go vote for them but I'll say this:
$60,000 worth of pizza and fucking hot dogs.
No, you're right, and those are things to be looked at, absolutely. But I'm just saying that the energy, that's like, so then I see NP, she just like, and like HC, NP, those two people, and I can't even look at them. Like they give me anxiety, you know?
I'm really sorry about my language, you guys. I try to be good. I don't want to get Heidi a ban.
Yeah, we don't want to get banned before our next trip. Okay, because since we'll be in Jamaica, so we want to be able to talk to you live on this channel. All right, so that's all we have for today, guys. I think that's it.
Yeah, we went longer than we were expecting to, but this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you, as always, Heidi Vandenberg, for having me on. You guys, please check out my channel, Jenny Constantine. If you would like a reading, please go to jennymoonstone.com. And so, yeah, it'll be great.
Don't hang up yet. Don't hang up. Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
And if you have any charts you want us to do and look at when we do these, if you get their times and births, you know, the time of births for the people, and that's the solid information you want to get. So if you, like, I know a lot of people bring suggestions, so, you know, we will do other charts, but you just have to give me the times. I just don't have time to research anybody's, you know, stuff like that. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Hold on.
Be the change you want to see.
God. How do we end this damn thing?